Big's Eye in the Sky reporting Cincinnati's only helicopter traffic report. See? What the hell was that?
This is Les Messman, WKRP's Fish Eye in the Sky, reporting the traffic is a snarled mess down there and that we're about to hit a bridge.
Baby, if you've ever wondered.
Welcome to the Moraine Historical Minute. Hi everyone, I'm Dave Miller with the City of Moraine. Moraine is rich in history. Today we look at Harold Johnson and Moraine's world record WACO biplane. On display at the WACO Air Museum in Troy, Ohio, is a 1934 WACO UMF-3 biplane, formerly flown by Moraine's Harold Johnson, who is also known as the Flying Mayor of Moraine. Harold was well known in the aviation field, and he was a past president of the National Aviation Hall of Fame, past MBO of the Moraine Air Park, and also the past mayor of Moraine from 1976 to 1993. There were only 18 of this specific model of WACO biplane, built in 1934 to 1935. And back then, each were sold for $6,530. In 1960, Harold Johnson and Glenn Thomas purchased the plane and completely restored it to its former glory. Harold used the WACO for the next 65 years, flying air shows across the Midwest. The red WACO was a permanent fixture at the Moraine Air Park and at Moraine Air shows. The WACO's powerful 210 horsepower engine enabled Johnson to perform rolls, loops, stall turns, which are called hammerheads, tail slides, and other aerobatic maneuvers. Johnson offered public biplane rides, which I and my wife took advantage of many years ago. The ride was a surprise birthday gift for her, and boy, did Harold make it memorable. We were seated in the open air cockpit in front of Harold's cockpit and strapped in by one, that's right, just one thin seatbelt across our laps. Since Harold knew me, he gave us more than an ordinary ride by doing a couple of loops, a death spiral over downtown Dayton, and then barnstorming just above treetop level. Memories we both will never forget, especially my poor wife who had eaten a big breakfast before this stomach-churning flight. This WACO plane was part of 2 world records. Johnson set the world record for the longest continuous air show flights as he flew at Kings Island Amusement Park 7 nights a week, believe it or not, for 7 straight years. That's 2,557 shows. Johnson's WACO plane also has the most flight time than any other WACO airplane in existence, with over 14,000 hours in the air. This 1934 WACO is currently on loan to the museum by the family of Harold Johnson. If you want to see a piece of aviation history, stop by the educational WACO Air Museum in Troy, Ohio. That was a nostalgic look back at Harold Johnson and Moraine's world record WACO biplane. I'm Dave Miller, and thanks for tuning in to this edition of Moraine Historical Minute.
Johnson's skill as an aerobatic pilot plus his love of vintage aircraft provide air show spectators with a living piece of aviation history. Harold Johnson out in front with the MF-3. Down to the right-hand portion now, the hammerhead turnaround.